This is a nice segue into my next story that I am going to put under the sort of the hashtag cock news. We've got some exciting new news from the world of penises. This is
I'm
an
going to
article
excuse
from
myself from this. I can't deal with cock anymore.
Okay. I think Jacques had a bad encounter, a sexual encounter or something, because he's been.
Look, it's not just other people's cocks. This could be your your own genitalia. And now this
I
is
cut mine off.
All right. Well, then I guess just sit this one out. This is what you could have had you not cut your penis off. This is from the New York Post. Experts predict what the penis of the future could look and feel like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I unchopped it off. Tell me more.
It's back on.
Yeah,
back on.
Things are looking up for men. Recent studies have shown that the average penis is growing, but there's a lot more in that store for the male sex organ, experts told the Daily Mail. Stronger swimmers, automated implants, built-in contraception, and other features could soon grace the male reproductive anatomy in the not-too-distant future, they reported. If there is enough demand, driven by fashion or societal trends, for tweaking bits of the body, then we're probably not that far off from being able to genetically do that, said Simon Underdown, professor of biological anthropology at Oxford.
Underdown,
I'm sorry, that name is so fucked up.
Simon Underdown, professor of penis studies at
Stop! No, stop. That is not a real thing.
Biological anthropology is sort of the academic name for penis studies, for meat watching.
Yeah, cock futures.
Cock science, as you will.
Yeah. Listen to this. The human penis has grown at an alarming rate in just 30 years, according to a 2023 Stanford University study that found that the average erect penis jumped 25% in length between 1992 and 2021, from 4.8 to 6 inches. This momentum.
That's not much of a. That's really not. Yeah.
Why do you think Grindr's blown up so much in the last few years?
Well, it says hey. Look, 4.8 to 6 inches may not seem like enough, but according to this article, this momentum could see the average length push past 8.5 inches by 2100.
I don't like that. I don't like
it. Too little, too late, in my opinion.
Too little, too late. So you're telling me that Jesus had a really small penis? Like
Well, yeah, look at all those statues.
Yeah, they were all like 4'1". So
that's true.
Like 4'1". That's like 2.5 by my estimate.
Let me ask you a question, Hessa. Why are you talking about our Lord and Savior's cock? Because I don't know if that's appropriate.
I'm sorry, Jacques. I'm sorry. You're right. That was the first person in the past that I could think of. Because I'm about.
While we're talking about it, who's got a bigger cock? Jesus, Mohammed, or Buddha?
Okay.
Well, considering that Muhammad was the one born closest to the present day, I think Muhammad probably has. Because if this article is to be believed, I think Muhammad probably had a slightly larger penis than Jesus or Buddha, who were born long before Muhammad existed.
So you're led by science and not spirituality. I get it.
You know, have you ever seen those? Some of those like young Earth creationists have this theory that it's actually the opposite, not with penises, but with body size. That the closer to Adam and Eve, the bigger people were. Like Adam and Eve were like 100 feet tall. People in Genesis after that, like still like 80, 90 feet tall. Jesus Christ, probably about 50 feet tall.
He should have hooped.
But, well, like, it's not when everyone's 50 feet tall, no one's 50 feet tall.
We're the
you know what I mean? But what if the penis thing is also true? And they also had like
1-inch penises and they were 50 feet tall.
I'm imagining like the most closeted kid in this creationist class being like, well, what about the penises? Excuse me, teacher, what the penis is big or two?
People actually shrank. They had to shrink because of evolution, because the structures they were building were so small no one could fit in them for so long.
Wait, what were the original people? The green giant on the side of the can? I don't understand this giant.
What?
He's referring to the Jolly Green Giant.
Green Giant, goodness at its best. Ho, ho, ho.
You know, like it was the sort of frozen vegetable pitch.
Yeah, the green
character.
beans, canned green beans is what you're picturing, Jacques?
Oh, absolutely. If you're going to talk about the original man, let's talk about the original man that was literally green with a giant cock.
Right. No, he does look hung
Okay,
dog.
Jock.
I'll give you that.
Jock,
I'll
Jock.
give you that.
Okay, who had a bigger cock, the Jolly Green Giant or Paul Bunyan?
Paul
Oh,
Bunyan, easy.
Oh,
I think the
actually,
Green Giant.
this
Well,
is
but
this is
here's
a
the
huge
thing.
misconception.
With the Jolly Green Giant, his like little dress that he wears goes up
Yeah.
so high that you would be able to see him if he was
Well,
hung.
maybe
You'd be able to
I
see
feel
the
like
tip.
I feel like he could be a grower.
I'm sorry. Have you never heard of a tuck before, Hessa?
Right. He's stuck.
He is wearing a little dress.
Are you familiar with a little show called Drag Race? Because I'm pretty sure they're holding back some 8 and 9 inch schlongs underneath their little loincloths.
That's what jolly means. Jolly means he's gay. That's
Right.
Oh. Well, look. Let's just be honest here. I would prefer to have sex with the Green Giant versus Paul Bunyan. Also, it's very clear to me that Paul Bunyan probably has a inferior penis because he has to always chop all these fucking trees
Yes.
and prove his
Yep.
masculinity.
He has to carry that
Out-
big axe around.
He's always got to have this masculine edge to him. And,
And the Jolly Green Giant is just kind of like a himbo. He's kind of just there smiling. He doesn't have
Oh
much
my
to
God.
prove.
by the way,
I'm looking at a picture of him, and his
Of
dress
naked?
thing goes up really goes right up to his waistline. Basically, it's like his tuck is immaculate.
Well, Hessa, to your point about evolution, unfortunately, researchers hypothesize that environmental factors, not evolution, may have catalyzed rapid growth, such as pollution. or certain lifestyle habits.
frogs hung. the frogs are hung.
Well, I mean, like people always, talking shit about pollution and environmental decay, but I mean, it's not all bad. The cocks are getting bigger.
You know how they're making all those shitty movies where they're like, we're going to examine the villain's origin story, and maybe you'll walk away thinking he's not such a bad guy. They should do it with Captain Planet. All the polluting guys, they were like,
Right.
we were cursed with these horrible small dicks, and we just want to pollute. We just want to pollute so that no child will have to go through what we did.
One request, Felix. Please don't make me horny. We cannot talk about we cannot talk about the hottest. We cannot talk about the hottest people on the planet, which are the villains.
The children from Captain Planet.
No. Okay, first of all, fuck you golden-haired pony girl bitch. Second, God damn it, you've knocked my brain out of place, and now
Jock,
I can't remember.
you were saying that you were horny for
saying
the
the
villains on
villains.
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my
The
god.
polluters.
Sexy. I mean, like how much? When I was younger, I could not give a fuck about heart, wind, earth, and that blue motherfucker who looks like he's up to some fucked shit. I liked that pig man in a Hawaiian shirt who looks
who looks like
a Duke Nukem character. So sexy. I
Hoggish
love.
Greedley is his name.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I miss when littering was cool. It used to be so cool when I was growing up. We all littered. We used to go to the parking lot where kids would drink at night so that we could go and get the glass bottles that they left behind and throw them into traffic. And that was like
That's not littering. That's physical assault. That's terrorism.
Jock, you literally grew up. The more you describe your growing up, the more I realize you grew up in Gummo.
Oh my! I was just gonna say he was on an overpass throwing it.
I never skinned a cat. I mean, come on.
Right.
I never hurt an animal.
Period.
Well, there could be downsides to this sort of global cock growth, because the article states, however, sizing up could spell problems for the female anatomy, which may not be able to accommodate the change in men, creating a new hurdle to pregnancy. I mean, isn't that women always getting the short end of the cock here? I mean,
exactly.
I mean, what can we do to? Is there some sort of pollution that we can do to make pussies bigger so that they can? So that
We got to prevent violence against pussies. We got to make sure that they don't rip. I have a friend who had a ripped vagina that tore from the vagina to the asshole, and this was the work of a big dick.
Did she give birth or something?
No, but the doctor told her if you start shitting when you're pissing, you need to come to the hospital immediately.
God.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And look, I'm letting
Jock, can we get her name and address, maybe?
my friend Jordan has already been
I'm
on
kidding.
the episode.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Can't say her name.
She said her name, and she's very public. There's an episode on Seeking if you
She's
want to
very
go back
public.
and she's very public about her experience. She had to be out of sexual contact for 6 months. She had sex. It tore that thing up. Woke up the next day and said, "Damn, I think I'm kind of hurting a little bit." She didn't even realize to the next day the damage.
What did she have sex with? A demon? What's going on
The
here?
Jolly Green
That's
Giant.
the thing too.
Yeah, the Jolly Green Giant. Yeah.
I asked her, how big was this dick and how rough was the sex? And she tells me, not that big, not that rough. And I'm like, well, then what
God,
is
there's
your
still hope for
definition
all
of
of us.
gentle?
Yeah.
So
Either that or her standards are insane.
Yeah.
in reference to the cock wars and the giant cockening,
Right.
you know, this could be a
cockening.
bad thing, but
Highlander 3, the cockening.
maybe this will start a huge wave of people that are into anal more. You know,
All right.
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's if they're all the cocks
Isn't
are
it harder?
giant,
Isn't it harder to get a
it's-
giant cock in an asshole than a
Yeah,
pussy?
it is worse for sure.
That's like the whole reason that
That pussies exist.
Yeah, well,
So you can have sex with them.
it's the reason that evil men want to do anal to their girlfriends.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's tighter.
Hey, Felix,
Um,
please don't talk about your fantasies on air. I don't want to hear about it. Okay?
I'm very I'm like an Amish person. I would excise someone from my community if they did that
For
to
sure.
a woman, not
For
to
sure.
a man. I think to a man, your business. To
Yeah.
a woman,
That's horseplay.
I think the
Horseplay.
the only more evil type of boyfriend is the guy who wants his ass ate by his girlfriend. That's one of the most misogynist things I can think of.
Yeah, I don't really get that whole thing.
No, it's
I'll
strange.
say
You wouldn't get your ass eaten out,
I'd like to
Felix?
move on to the next subject. I'd like to speak about this.
I just I don't know.
You couldn't kiss a girl after she ate your asshole?
Because it's all there.
Okay, but would you kiss her after if you stopped drinking Mountain Dew? I don't.
What does that mean?
What does that have to do with getting your ass licked?
I think Jock is just looking at a bottle of Mountain Dew in the room somewhere.
Absolutely not. I'm looking at an empty can of Bing, thinking, "Where's the juice?" And also, do these scientists that think that the pussies are not going to grow bigger, do they think that at least the assholes are going to grow bigger? I mean, society is getting fatter. We need to have bigger holes to poop out.
Well,
Right.
I mean, that they don't comment on assholes or in this article, but look, there is some hope. They said, if men get too big for women to accommodate, that would quote create a new hurdle to pregnancy. And then they go on to say, quote, that would definitely have a negative impact on reproductive success, said Chris Kovarik, a researcher at Durham University's Department of Anthropology. And quote, smaller penises would likely be selected for.
Yep.
Okay.
Selected for the camps? What's that mean?
Because imagine a world in which every man has a Pringles can, and it's just and now sex has become totally impractical and painful for the average size vagina.
1984.
Then, a Highlander comes along. There can be only one normal size penis. And then he will be evolutionarily selected for because he will be more likely to pass along his genes having a small to average size penis.
Well, he could definitely pass on his genes because of this. Genes don't need extra cock room. Oh, you mean like genes?
Come on.
Jesus Christ.
That was good. That was a good one.
Oh my god.
I like that one.
I am on today. Medicine.
Last bit, this does promise sort of technological advancements to the penis as well. Penile advancements are not all for the sake of procreation, however. Dvorsky theorized that wireless internet technology
Dvorsky.
This is Drewski's brother, Dvorsky. I'm sorry.
His divorced brother.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for this rapper.
Dvorsky theorized that wireless internet technology could make pleasure more accessible with a Bluetooth-enabled penis, for example, or trigger the brain to receive more sensory information from
Is
the
this
penis.
guy a doctor?
No.
It doesn't sound like it.
This seems like very strange timing with Elon Musk leaving DC.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay,
Yeah.
Ben. The next paragraph says Rich Lee is the CEO of a company called Cyber Orgasmics and self-proclaimed Elon
Oh my,
Musk of sex.
okay,
all right.
yeah, okay. It's one of these articles where it's like, you know, a company that's like, oh, we've invented like the first like, you know, Bluetooth penis thing, and no one in the it's a company full of ideas guys. They're never
Yeah.
making anything. The entire purpose of the company is to get articles written about them and hopefully attract someone who knows how to put like a Bluetooth thing in a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to eventually like hire a guy and be like, look, we don't actually know what we're supposed to be doing. Can you help us?
Yeah,
I don't.
They
Like, what does that mean? A Bluetooth enabled unless you can take your penis off. Vibrators already exist, and you could probably put Bluetooth in them.
Right.
I don't know why you would
Felix,
do that.
the biohacking proponent promised a pubic implant called the Lovetron 9000 that would make the penis vibrate like a sex toy on demand.
Oh, good God.
But
Your
the problem is,
body
like, a
can
sex toy is
vibrate.
already on demand.
yeah. I love like no one likes Bluetooth anyways. Like
No,
why-
it really doesn't
None
work.
of these things work.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like, imagine the implementation of this. Think about how every car now has a touchscreen.
Yes.
Every fucking refrigerator is connected to the internet. You would be having sex and you would have to click out of a pop-up to
Yeah.
the new
Yeah.
Norton antivirus.
Yes.
Oh my god, my penis is getting hacked.
Can I say
Yes.
something about
Your dick would start making announcements for the Hot Cheeto movie upon
Yeah. Your eyes start to roll back. A story of Latino perseverance.
let me just make a point. This cybersexual company, y'all are laughing now, but people probably were laughing the fuck up about those blue.
Jock, would you get a penis implant?
Would I get a penis implant? And hell no. My dick stay hard. I don't need that shit.
Stay hard.
I take enough ginseng for my penis to fly out of my body and then come back.
Jacques,
Do
if
not.
you had a choice between being hard 24/7, 365, or losing an inch off your penis, but it functions normally,
Right.
what would you take?
Hard 24/7, 365. I just
Okay.
just switch
I
over
would,
to porn.
honestly, I would subtract the inch. Being hard 24/7, 365 sounds like a disability. That sounds like a nightmare.
You just
Yeah,
have to have
yeah.
a shower so you could pee up. But
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I think
It would
it,
be incredibly difficult.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let me just be very frank. If you're hard and you have to pee, you're basically peeing up. You're not gonna let your dick get soft. To
Breaking
pee and
news!
then-
Breaking news! Peeing with an erection is difficult. We're letting our listeners know aware of this.
Listen. They laughed at y'all are laughing at this android penis, but they laughed, 10, 15 years ago about the blue vapor cigarettes. They were like, "This is never going to catch on." These.
I'm sorry, I don't know. What are the blue vapor
What
cigarettes?
is a blue
fuck
vapor
are you talking
cigarette?
about?
I know what
Is
he's
this-
talking
is this-
about.
this
I
is
know
a
what he's
First,
talking
the
about.
first rendition
Those
of
blue e-cigs.
of the e-cigs
Oh, right,
that came out, and everyone was like, "This is never gonna catch on. No one is gonna be vaping nicotine. You're stupid. We love regular cigarettes, which I love regular cigarettes much better than nicotine vapes, but." But now look at the future. People
Yeah.
might not prefer.
So-
People don't.
Jacques is right. Jacques is right. People were laughing 15 or 20 years ago when they were like, "Yo, you heard of this new thing you can do with your dick? It's called getting an erection." And then like people were like, "It'll never catch on. It'll never work. It's
It's hard to
just
pee.
bad."
Why would you do that?
I
You
remember
need a shower to pee.
I remember, the first kid in our school who had an erection because his dad was rich.
Because his dad was hot. I thought you were gonna say.
He had an erection because his father was rich. Explain immediately.
He got, erections came out in like 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's so stupid.
Oh,
Like,
I can only afford a half cup.
It can hardly fit in a girl's pussy. Who would want that? But
I thought you were saying-
now we all have erections.
I was so confused. I thought you were saying like back in school, you were like, my father just became so rich that I've grown an erection.
The money get my dick hard.
I'm hard for the money.
Cream.